Alrighty, guys, welcome back. So, today, number 6 video. And so, we did a nice little biceps and delts day. Kind of like the combination. Now, left wrist, still a little sore, tender, holding us back a little bit on like sheer weight number, but got through it. We just took our reps super nice and slow. And I'll tell you what, my shoulders, my biceps are actually sore. Feels kind of good, which I'm interested to see how that kind of plays out. Because like today, it is planned to be a back day. So, with them being pretty fatigued, we'll get into it and we'll see if how much it affects lat training, right? Because that's basically all we're really focusing on today is lats, lats, and more lats. But it's kind of like hitting that lower lat, a couple movements, that middle section of the lat, middle to upper really, and then it's kind of like that upper lat, rhomboid, trappy type of area, right? So you really break it down into 3 sections of the lower, mid, and upper back. And for the most part, when you're trying to train shoulders, a lot of people struggle with that and they put the emphasis into all the back muscles, right? So, since I effectively can feel my delts are sore, especially my rear delt, I should very much be able to feel everything else very well. And when the range of motion gets to the extreme on, like, say, your rows and stuff, you kind of then get into your rear delt. So by that, I should be able to tell kind of where that contraction starts to change actually a lot better than normal. So we shall see how that works out. Kind of interested in it. But with that, we had a real good day on that. Weight, still the same actually. 218.5 yesterday morning. Today, 218.5. So probably just haven't passed everything through yet. I know I haven't because haven't had the bathroom situation this morning yet. So that's all that is. It happens as you kind of get into your dieting phase. Your frequency kind of, at least for me, consistently kind of slows down. It stays regular, per se, like it's a consistent timing of when I go. I just go a lot less. So that is one of those things that does kind of take effect of when was the last time you had a movement versus a scale. Because that does make a large, large difference. Now, it's just kind of one of those weird things that happens. But let's talk about like heavy reps for weight with slightly less weight, but still heavy, for real slow reps. So this is kind of where that time under tension argument comes into effect, right? Because say I can For example, in the video today, you'll see it. Preacher curls, super slow and strict, real solid contractions, probably right about 985-ish percent weight possible for 10 reps. And you can tell they're nice, slow, contracted. But that's as heavy as I could get them, right? And then, after doing those, and after doing easy bar preacher, I do standing dumbbell hammers. Into which then I do those with, I think it's 45 pounds. Might have been 50s. Something like that. But either way, basically double the weight of what I did very slow and isolated on the preacher. Now, part of that is because I'm standing, my elbow's not locked in, so you take out some of that body pop in English, right? Or your ability to drop your shoulder down as you're going through the movement. Now, each one of those are effective sets, right? Like, I can feel the blood getting into the muscle during both of them. I can feel the strain and the stretch on the muscle in both of them. And the pump from both of them. So, which one's really more effective? I'm going to say probably the slower preachers are more effective, even though they're lighter, because the amount of time per rep is like 2 to 3 times longer. So if, say, a normal rep takes you 1 second, then those take you 3 seconds, and you do 10 reps per arm, that's now 10 seconds versus 30 seconds. So with that, that would mean that my time under load and stress is 3 times higher. Now, is that going to equal 3 times more growth? No. Not one bit. But you're getting a greater mind-muscle connection because your rep is so much slower and you're controlling the whole thing. And you're going to get more, per se, like, stimulus during that. But then you have the comparison of sheer load, right? Is double the load more or less effective than 3 times the period of stimulation? I think that's kind of where the time under tension argument comes from, right? But what I can tell you is the pump and fullness that you will get from time under tension is much, much higher. At least in my case. It's noticeable. Now, that may not be for all. Some people may have a hard time holding those contractions, right? And that, like, partial range of movement being controlled and slow because the weight might be too heavy for what they're trying to do. Because there is going to be a point in time to where the weight is so light for you to control it like that you're not going to get any actual stimulus. You might get a little pump, but you're not breaking down the muscle tissue. So there is going to be some sort of trade-off there, right? Is your pump and blood being shoved into the muscle enough to create hypertrophy versus the sheer load creating muscle damage consistently? I think that's kind of where that whole light squeezing set thing versus big heavy weights repped quickly argument kind of comes in. Because there's science that kind of says both of them build muscle, you're fucking stupid. It doesn't matter. So I have a combination of styles put in there, especially if, say, right now where I'm working around an injury from getting hit by that car, and I just can't hold the weight in my wrist properly. So, I don't know. It's an interesting topic to me. I'm just saying all this basically to say, do it. Doesn't matter how you're training. Just go fucking in there and go hard. Make it fucking hard. Whatever way that is for you, is the way you need to do it. But hold on a second, I gotta cross the street. 5 moments later. But you've just got to make sure you're getting in there and training to failure and hard. Either way you're doing it, right? Like those slow squeezing reps, I'm going till I can't squeeze and hold that type of rep anymore. Then the big heavy reps, I'm going till I can't complete a big heavy rep. My last rep is normally going to be some sort of like partial half rep. Or I'm going to take that last rep I do, if it hits full range of motion, and try to slow that eccentric portion back down, even though the weight's way heavier, getting just a little bit of extra stress there. So it all kind of just eventually adds up to, are you making it hard? Personally, I don't think it really matters of what type of sets you're doing, as long as you're taking them basically to failure. So, and a lot of people lift so light that I don't think they really know what failure is, because they get that lactic acid burn and they can't push through that. Like they have a mind block saying their set is done because of the burn. Your set's not done just because you have that lactic acidy pump burn. You can normally get 3 to 5 more reps when that feeling starts to show up for the average person, because they're training what is perceived to be heavy, but it's not. So if you're the person that's gone in and you've lifted the same weight for the last same 2 or 3 months and hasn't gone up, you probably have 5 or 10 more reps in you. Just because of the fact that you're not progressively overloaded. Like, there is 0 movements that I could think of that'll stay stagnant at a solid weight for 2 to 3 months. Not even like delts, right? Like, that's probably the hardest workout out there as per weight increasing by number. Every month for most people. That is the beginner, novice, amateur, intermediate range, which most people almost never even get to intermediate, right? So, and that's just because they don't realize, every month, even on something like delt raises, you can add 2.5 pounds. You're going to get stronger. Add some weight. Add some more reps. Don't stop at 8 or 10. Go to 12 or 15. Right? Like, there's always a consistent way to keep adding more and more stress to your body to make it continue to adapt. Because putting on strength and putting on muscle is just the body adapting to the forces you're putting on it. So if the force isn't large enough to create adaptation, you're not going to get change. That change is what we all want to see. So, you know, like, what is hard enough? To me, it's going to be failure, you know? If you don't break at least a mild sweat, preferably like a medium level sweat, you don't got to be pouring sweat out of your body, but your gym clothes should be moist by the time you're 20 minutes into your workout already, at your 45 hour and a half. Like, you should already be like, man, like, I definitely have to change my clothes before I go into public. So if you're not at that point, I'm pretty consistently gonna say you're not pushing your sets hard enough. Because the harder your sets get, the more your heart rate goes up, the more your body starts to sweat, because you are putting it under stress and load. So that's just kind of the way that works. But that, guys, make sure you're working towards your goals, getting your stuff done. Most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.